capture tennis and vice versa. In 10 years, pickleball will be the number one sport in the United States with over 20 million people. So, Aspen Kern is not listed as players. So now I'm at the top. If I'm trying to, I'm at the net now. You never get in the net? You never get in the net. Look what we just put the ball. Ever. In pickleball, you don't split set. It's a constant movement to the net, and it's all about contact point. So, as I move to the net, as I move to the net, I use paddle. Then I paddle for the start of the whole
Welcome to Pickleball is Life. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share them with your friends. And how about you press that little like button? Thanks. I wanted to thank my new sponsor, Franklin, for sponsoring my channel. They make the X40 Pickleball, which is the official ball of the US Open. A full line of paddles, including the Ben Johns, Christine McGrath, and Aspen Kern signature paddles, net sets, bags, and other accessories, including the well-known Franklin Performance gloves. And if you want to support my channel, check out my Pickleball's Life shirts, hats, and sport towels at the end of this video. And check out my pickleball venues Google map. There's a link in the description. I went to a pickleball camp at Green Valley Country Club with Jarrett Chirico, Aspen Kern, Collin Johns, and some other pros. If there's one in your area, I'd recommend it. I really learned a lot.
Coming from a tennis background, tennis and playing pickleball, and for me, Collin, we have, tennis, paddle, pickleball, squash, all these different things in our club that we have to do. Collin's actually very good at paddle as well. And the thing is, pickleball is, I hear people say all the time, it's either people are leaving tennis and they're switching to pickleball, and I tell directors, if they're leaving tennis for pickleball, they're quitting tennis anyway. It's not something that you do one or the other. And tennis is actually growing again, finally, because of pickleball. There's a new stat, about 850,000 of the new tennis players that have started for the first time have come from the pickleball background. I would guess that all 3.6 million of the pickleball players, I'd probably say 3.5 came from tennis. But the thing is, pickleball really helps your tennis and vice versa, in the sense that, when you think about your wrist being loose and your contact point being out, that's a slice, that's an approach shot, that's a volley, you're building points at the net, you're not coming to the net and just, volleying. It all goes hand in hand together. Positioning, especially if you play doubles in tennis, positioning and positioning in pickleball is so important. I don't know how many of you play tennis, but how many people go out with coaches and they do like the stupid drill where you approach, you volley, your partner coaches, you go across. It's not realistic. It's so much about building a point. So pickleball, especially with the locked wrist, in tennis, your backswing's back here, you're late, you're off the pathway of the ball. If you're here, you're on the pathway of the ball. So it's very similar. So what I would say is, if anybody tells you it's one or the other, they're dead wrong, and the stats are really starting to support that. A new stat just came out. There's 3.6 million people that play pickleball. In 2 to 3 years, that's going to be 5 million. In 5 years, it's going to be 10 million. In 10 years, pickleball will be the number one sport in the United States with over 20 million people. So it's not going anywhere. So the people that are the directors and the clubs that are saying, no pickleball, we don't need it, we have plenty of tennis, they're not going to be relevant in 5 to 10 years. So it's really learning how to adapt. USTA, they put all the 10 underlines. They want to also be able to host pickleball. And they're like, well, pickleball just shorten the court 2 inches to make it played on the 10 under court. USAPA is saying, no, we don't need to. And what we're finding is USTA is going to have to adapt, because you have these directors that, there's a tournament here this weekend. There's like 240 people. You run a junior tennis tournament. How many? 285. Jesus. 285. You run a tennis tournament, a grade tournament, a national gets 64 people. A regular tournament gets 16, 20. So, people are going to choose where the growth is. So, to answer your question, one helps the other, and people really have to adapt. Paddle is the same thing, it's just not going to grow as quick as tennis. Does anybody else have any questions on what we just covered? So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more drill. It's a transitioning drill, and then we're going to get into putting this in points. What I want to say is not everybody's going to be able to do this. So you're in a minute. If you can't dropping in general is such an advanced shot that not everyone can do it, not everybody should do it. A lot of times when you drop, a lot of times when you do that every time. That's a hard shot, and I get that. So as we do these drills, if you're not comfortable dropping, drive it. And driving again is not killing it. I'm never getting a net after that. Never getting a net. Look where he just put the ball. Effortlessly. But if I'm driving this, I'm about to get that. Maybe I am good.
That's hard as well.
So what I want to focus on now is transitioning into that. He doesn't work, but when you look at pickleball, the one thing you don't find, I'm not talking about the Ben Johns, the Kyle Yates, the Collin Johns, the highest echelon here. I'm talking about almost everybody else. If I hit it, cut point, if I hit it in strings, oh my God, sorry, if I hit it in strings, the minute I split, I'm caught. It's going to catch me every time. It's not in pickleball, you don't split set. It's a constant movement to the net, and it's all about contact point. So, don't kill me, but so if I'm hitting a net, I'm driving. It doesn't matter how quick I get, as long as I keep that power in front of me, I'm going to get to the net. Maybe not Aspen, but no. Aspen Kern's in that list of those players, like you said. So now I'm at the net, so it doesn't matter. So if I drop it even, watch, I'm going to drop it. Drop it, and then that, moving, down there, and now we're playing out the play. So in general, when you hit it and you run forward, the minute you split, you pull up. My contact point's now back. I'm hitting the ball back here. So, you don't split step.
No, okay.
You split step, you pull back.
Okay.
The thing is, as I move to the net, as I move to the net, I use paddle. See my paddle stays in front of me the whole time? Sorry. I'm intimidated. It's Aspen Kern. There you go. So the paddle is going to stay in front of me the whole time as I paddle. So it doesn't matter if you split step. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do one more drill. The people at the current side are going to get the net. I'm looking to get to the net in 3 shots. Again, if you can't drop it, we'll drive it. So for those that feel comfortable dropping it, it'll look like this. You're just going to keep it playing. Don't try to kill me, just I'm going to progress forward. So it's here, 1, paddle in front, just like we're thinking, 2, paddle in front, 3, and now I'm at the net. Notice every time, I kept my posture, I'm moving forward, the contact's in front. If I'm going to drive it, I'm going to be slow. You see how I barely have to move? I'm constantly moving forward, the paddle in front. But what I'm looking for is just don't go hard. If we're doing it, then that person I don't mind you hitting hard, you're just letting them progress forward. If you drive it, it's just going to let you 1, 2, and the third time you should be able to volley it, and then we'll go back.
Where's the drop shot? I'm not getting the whole, where's the drop shot you're talking about?
It's a third shot drop. I'm saying if you can't drive, if you don't feel comfortable dropping it, then you can drive it. The third shot drop, the reason why it's, other than dinking, the most important shot is because when you're serving, you know, you're throwing points on your serve, you're at the disadvantage. So they're already at the net, I'm trying to take over the net. So a good player like Aspen, if I drive it, here we go, if I drive it, it's so hard to get to the net because he can keep it so low. Do one more, I'm trying to go low. Yeah. When you drive it, usually, against a good
You don't have that much time to get up there.
you have no time to get to it. So the reason why you drop is because now, when the time is taken to drop, I'm already at the net. See, I'm already up there, now the pit's neutralized. The whole point when you're serving or when you're dropping is you're just trying to neutralize the point. I'm not trying to win the point. You'll see like most people when they play, they just do if I don't know that, they'll start banging. But again, remember, today is about building a point. So what I'd like to see is just a 3-ball progression, and if you can drop it, that's what you want. But just like taking contact in front, wrist relaxed, pushing forward. 1. Now here, I'm not stopping. 2, 3. It's not hard, it's just a progression. Now if Aspen does it, going back, it's the same thing. He's going to do a 3-shot progression. 1, 2. So this is what was perfect. This is what usually goes wrong in the drill. People think they've got to get to the net. So a 3-point progression turns into this. So I'm going to do this. looking for a three-shot progression. One. Oh my God, Aspen. You guys had a good point, Aspen. Okay, around at the net. Oh my God, Aspen. You guys had a good point, Aspen. Okay, around at the net. I had a question. So a lot of times you find as you're moving up, and you're in 3 steps, you get squats back, sort of no hand slams, only if you stop. So, here, let's have Jeff do it. Jeff's a little more wild than Aspen, so we'll see what happens. You're not going to get caught. If I drive it, when you drive it, you can get caught. For this drill, again, if you drive it, you're not doing it for power, you're just trying to keep the ball low. So drive, here. That's when you get caught, you see? That's why I generally want to drop more. For this drill, just progress forward. So I would try to drop, even if you don't feel comfortable. I don't care if it looks like this. Even if the drill looks like this, it's super high. See how I'm still coming forward? I don't care how bad the drop is, I just care that we're focusing on trying and coming forward.
What you'll see a lot of people do is they will drive from back here at the baseline, and then when they progress to the next ball, they're dropping from here. It'll be easier to drop from up there than it will be from back here. A lot of people are comfortable with that drive, progress forward, and then they're dropping here. It's a shorter, easier drop shot to hit.
If you're in trouble, just raise your hand and we'll help you, but it's not supposed to be right. That's why we're doing this.
That's why we drop it one time to get up. And a perfect drop, you can get up.
This is the thing. Even if you're a pro, the minute you play, a normal person, you're going to feel like you can drop and you'll make all your drops. The minute you play someone like Aspen, suddenly your perfect drops are landing this high and he's killing you. What you can do against one person doesn't mean you can do it against another when you have pressure and spins. It's very hard to drop when somebody's rolling it. For this roll, we're just putting the ball right back. So just above all else, contact point and continual progression. Don't stop. The minute you stop in pickleball, you're done. Tennis, you split step, that's a little different. Highest level of pickleball, you split step, but there's no Ben Jones here, so we're okay. All right, let's go back out.
Hey, if you like this video and want to help support my pickleball channel, we have Pickleball is Life t-shirts available in both V-neck and crew cut, in both dry fit and cotton, with sleeves, sleeveless, and women's racerbacks. I just got in new A4 blocked shirts with stripes down the side, and I'm putting 5 pickleballs on the back of all the shirts. I also have Pickleball is Life hats and sport towels. You can buy them from me on the court or online at Etsy. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, all I ask is that you please subscribe by clicking on the top left circle. Don't worry, it won't cost you anything. And please share this video with your friends. If you want to see some of my other pickleball videos, click here in the center. You can check out my other YouTube channel, Tesla Life, by clicking on the bottom left. My Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts are listed on the right. Thanks, everyone.